Alright. It's time to go. We have finally received the new patch. Am I happy with it? Let's find out. First thing to point out, there's a big old thing over here in the corner now. You click this, it takes you to like the developer's Steam page on Steam, which is pretty cool. You can see all their other games that they create. Pretty cool. Let's jump in. Alright, so let's hit the patch notes. Let's just look through, see what they say. We'll go through all this stuff. So we have 4 new DLCs. If you like spending money, we got the Green Novike, the famous Awakened set for those who want to grasp the essence of things more quickly. Not very explanatory of what it actually does, but sure. Mining company shares. Support mining companies by buying their shares. Sure. Alchemist Guild. Join the Alchemist Guild. Oh, fantastic. Of course, we have to rebirth because we're grinding. And then we got Siege Fort. Crit chance increased by 30%. I'm kidding. And we got Brotherhood of the Awakened. Become one of the Awakened and get closer to perfection. We'll take a closer look at those in a second, because the details are actually on Steam itself. I'll pull that up. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show that, but I'll at least go over it and read it out loud. So for the game itself, they changed Ghost Pickaxe. It's been renamed to Astral Pickaxe. Minerals, plants, and altars are no longer collected while using Ambrosia. Which... okay. Like, I guess. Because I thought that was like the whole point of the potion before, was to do everything and use the potion. But now, the only thing you get for using that is you basically... you kill all the enemies except for the possessed, and then I'm guessing it still hunts all the birds, because it doesn't say it doesn't hunt the birds anymore. So that's pretty much all it does. It just kills all the regular enemies and hunts the birds now. Astral Pickaxe now collects minerals in the astral while using Ambrosia. So basically, they're making it to where you have to have certain things unlocked to do what we used to just be able to do with the potion itself. Let's see. Triplicate perk has been reworked into Astral Harvest. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Herbal Burble. Astral Harvest. Flower fairies collect flowers in the astral with a chance of 1% per fairy. There's a 3% chance that the fairies will triple the number of plants collected. So this is a gigantic nerf, because for one, you can only have 10 fairies, 11 if you use the potion. So that means you have an 11% chance at level 1. Obviously, you get, if you put more points into it, I'm guessing it goes up by 1% or something. So you have to get it to level 10. With 10 fairies, if it goes up by 1 point, to like collect everything, which is a problem in and of itself. I'll explain why in a second. And then there's a 3% chance that the fairies will triple the number of plants collected. So if that goes up like 3% like it used to, then that's the same, basically. But if it only works when you're using Wine of the Gods? Not Wine of the Gods. Ambrosia? Like that's kind of bad. Like that's a huge nerf. Because this used to just work. Like it was 3% chance to triple any herb you pick up. And now it's only when the fairies do it in the astral, which is that right there when you use the Ambrosia. Right? Like that's terrible. That is a terrible change. overall. Just complete nerf. Anyway, next we have Firewalk Blessing is no longer amplified. So that's this guy right here. Basically, they made it to where anything that affects prayer buffs does not affect this buff anymore. So, Blessing Timer, Sacred Awe, Power of Igniting Blessings, Ignatius, none of that stuff affects this buff anymore. So it's always 130%, and every time you get it, it's always 15 seconds. Obviously, if you run fast enough and you collect enough altars, you can keep it up, because I've seen it do it before. Obviously, right now it's not doing a very good job of it, which is another reason why I started using the running potion for my grinds, just to get a little bit of extra speed. Because without it, I'm only running at 140 instead of 200. And I think even when I get it, it only goes up like another 10 or something. If we, yeah, so we just got it. We just went from like 140 to 153, like, okay. This is obviously a gigantic nerf because the buff used to give like 17,000 or something. Or 18,000, 19,000, whatever I had it at. To attack speed and run speed, so I was basically 200 and slapping dudes as fast as I could. I feel like this change is incredibly bad and should be reworked. If they really want to nerf it, just nerf how much it's modified by, but still allow it to be modifiable, and with the timer. Like, just make it to where, like, it's only affected by, like, 1/5 or 1/10 or something of the buff, so where you're not going up, you know, 18, 19,000%, whatever it is, whatever I was getting. But just completely negating anything that affects buffs and making it just be the regular buff, I think is completely ridiculous. So that's an incredibly bad change in my opinion. If they want to nerf it, fine, nerf it, but like don't completely, you know, cut the balls off, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous. Let's see. Next up, on Great Dead and Fiends, disease and curse effects are 3 times weaker. Basically, if you're looking like I look right now with stats and everything, and you have like a billion bones and curse, which I just do that for fun because I have, you know, 100 whatever million health, and yeah, I got like 25 in curse, so it goes off every 2 seconds or something like that. And then with the all the stats and stuff that I have into the prayer buffs, we'll wait and see when we pick up disease here. If we're allowed to get disease anyway. If we're allowed. It's usually one of the... Okay, there we go. So, enemies attack 69,981 times slower and weaker. Basically, like when Sacred Awe is full, like it just went up to 75,813. And we're at 14. Sacred Awe. So this will get up to like 100,000 or whatever. Nothing attacks. I legitimately mean that. Nothing attacks me. Like, I can have the whole screen full of dudes doing no damage to them, and they will not attack. They'll just stand there. Even the bosses. So, they're basically just making it to where, like, the bosses have a chance to do something. Which is fine. Totally understandable. Obviously, you don't want your, you know, difficulty to just be completely locked out because the stats are ridiculous. So that change I can understand. 3 times weaker? I don't know how much that's actually going to affect the numbers that I have, or if it will at all. But it's there. It's happening. Next up we got Chaos Bones cost more health. Apparently the majority of mine are all in the thousands. 12,000 for click for me. 5512 for the next restoration. All pretty high stuff. I'm pretty sure this was maybe like 10 times less or something. I don't remember what the numbers were for the stuff that I had set up, unfortunately. And being able to go back and look at it on an older stream would probably be hard to do because I don't really open that menu that much. But it does seem like a significantly higher amount. After that, we got the Clickerius sigil has been added. I haven't gotten this sigil yet. I don't know what it does. I don't know how you get it. There's no description of like where to get it or anything. I haven't seen it in the shop, so I don't know about that. I have camped just to see if like anything happens when you camp with this patch, and as far as I'm aware, nothing happens when you camp, and there's nothing to click on, nothing to trade in to the whistle guy, nothing like that. Let's just stay in the camp so that way it doesn't rebirth on me here in a minute. Let's see, after that, number of plants in the herbalist bag increases with the island. Number of minerals in the miner's bag increases with the island. So this thing right here used to be like 30. It's now 540. I am currently on island 67, unfortunately. What an unfortunate number in today's world. So yeah, 540 for where I'm currently at. I believe the miner's bag is half of that, so 270. So pretty significant boosts for where my current progress is, and makes them worth buying if you see them down here at the bottom for Mercury. I would not spend lead on them at all. Not worth it in the slightest. You're better off buying like a rich chest or something. Next up we got, now by holding control while shopping, you can purchase all items at once. Using the right mouse button allows you to buy 5 items. So, like say you have like potions down here at the bottom, you want to buy them, then you can just hold control and click. Because since they added in the confirmation window, are you sure you want to buy this item? I don't know, I clicked on it. It makes it incredibly annoying to buy potions, which is why I stopped buying them whenever I see them for Mercury. But now apparently you can just hold control and you win. I obviously have nothing in here that I want to buy that's a stack of stuff, so I can't really demonstrate that right now, but should be pretty simple to imagine in your mind. Next up we got additional mode do not use in melee combat has been added for melee weapons. This is really good. This is a really good change, so that way if you're trying to get minerals, you can have the pickaxe on, and you can have it full of technique spheres, and you can turn it off. So if you're using a bow, if you're using a staff, actually if you're using a staff you wouldn't be able to equip it, but yeah, if you're using a bow and you want to have a melee weapon on for like, you know, like that specific purpose I just stated, getting more ore, I'm sure there's others that I'm thinking of, maybe using tier for XP. You can turn it off so the way it doesn't swing with that weapon, and you can just be shooting with your bow if you're using a bow as your main weapon. So that's a really good change. A little late, but you know, we still got it. It's better than never. These next two are pretty big. The resource cost for upgrading equipment has been reduced, and the resource cost for upgrading rings of power has been reduced. I will show you why this is pretty big, because I already took the opportunity to upgrade some of my rings. So most of my rings used to be level 4, level 5. This ring is now level 16. This ring, level 18. And I can just show off like what the numbers look like. So the numbers before was like, I don't even remember. Like, let me look at a level 4. So level 4 to level 5, it now requires 11,800. And before, this number was like 640,000 or something for getting a level 5. So it's a dramatic decrease, like huge. Like if I wanted to level this up right now, I could probably get this ring to, well, I mean, let's just see. Let's just do it for fun. Show it off. So this ring is okay. It's a little bit of stamina, mostly mineral search. The regular stats on it are 455, 415 at level 4. And it's going up. This is an older ring, so the stats don't increase that much. But, so going from level 4 to level 5, it costs 11,800 purple, which is like the main big thing that it used to take a ton of, and I didn't have a ton of. So if we enhance level 5, it goes from 11,800 now to 19,450. So the increase is not very high, and what it costs now is incredibly low compared to what it used to be. And again, this is an older ring, so the stats don't go up as much, but obviously being able to go to a lot more than just level 4 or level 5 makes a huge difference. Like, I'll show you, where's the ring that I got to level 18? So this ring used to be like 1,600 mineral search or something like that, level 4 or level 5, whatever I got it to. And now it's 3,300 mineral search and then 1,764 mineral search on the bottom. It's got almost 4,000 spirit. It's got 6,842 stamina. It's got 9,000 total damage. And before it was like 2,000 total damage and a lot less of everything else. So, yeah. And then like, so going from 18 to 19, it's 56,600 for the one that's usually the worst one to get, which seems to be the top right one. So that's a little bit less than what going to level 6 would have cost, or level 5 or whatever. So you can basically get, instead of getting from level 4 to level 5 on your rings, you can get, you know, upwards to almost level 20, depending on how much you have, how you farm. I don't really farm herbs that much. I just get level 5 herbalism with the stats buff, because that puts enough points in there to where it just spawns herbs like crazy, and I don't really need to do too much more than that. Obviously, if I wanted more herbs, I could get the could have gotten the triplicate thing, but now that's completely reworked and isn't as good as it used to be, unfortunately. It's like we have like this ring. Yeah, like these purple mushrooms are used for most of my rings because of the mineral search. I'm pretty sure mineral search always puts the purple mushroom and these things, the purple whatever the hell this is, as your, actually this ring doesn't have mineral search. But yeah, the purple mushrooms are typically for mineral search. It's like this is 2,000 at level 6. Goes up 300. But obviously I don't have a lot of purple mushrooms anymore since I use them on whatever other rings that I have leveled up. Probably this one. Yeah, it's level 14. This is my triple Gorgor's ring, which made my Gorgor's stab up go up immensely. But yeah, those two changes pretty good. I don't know what the difference is for the armor. I didn't look at that, so I guess we can just blow something up for fun and see what happens. Let's find something that's not level 10. Not leveled up at all, really. Okay, so let's take a look at... I'm pretty sure it's all the same regardless of what the rarity is, right? So... let's do this, it'll be easier. So, we got this level 20, it's only 96. 97, 100, 103, 106, 109, 113, 117, 122. And before it went up by like hundreds. And now it only goes up by like 3. So now it costs like maybe 1,500 total or something compared to like 5k or more. So that's a pretty good change, especially if you upgrade armor a lot. like you're still in the early stages and you're trying to find a set of gear that works with whatever weapons you currently have, like that's a really good change for early game. Well, let's see. The number of minerals dropped from chaos chests increases as you progress through the islands. So that would be if you buy one of these, or you get them from killing bosses, which I do not anymore because I can't make progress because my current build doesn't work where I'm stuck at. So I can't really. I actually, you know, I do have an area to go through, so we can maybe show this off if I do that. If I do that last area. And then the next thing, black screen during battle while navigating the menu has been added to the advanced options. So that basically does exactly what it says. You come in here, you turn this on, and then I think you have to be in combat. So yeah, the menu's open, but there's no combat. So it basically just turns the graphics off. I'm guessing what this is supposed to do is make it to where it's a lot easier to click on stuff, because a lot of times this game lags and clicks don't go through. So I'm guessing that's what that's supposed to do, is it turns the graphics off and stops the game from running at 1,000,000 miles an hour graphically, and then it allows you to do more better in the menu, which is alright. Which is alright, that's a decent change. They're trying to at least give a roundabout way to get around lag and all that kind of stuff, so that's okay. Next one is bow and staff attacks now default to a standing stance. I'm not sure if that means what that means. Like if you have to get stance now to be able to always run. That sounds kind of like what it's saying. Otherwise you just stand still. I am certainly stopping and standing. Oh yeah, that's immensely better. You can tell. Like it stops like way in front of the enemies now. Well, not really, but it's seemingly better than it used to be. That's for sure. That is for sure. Obviously, like, if you're not running as fast as I am and stuff, you'd probably be able to see it a lot better. Let's see, I think there's a couple more. Fixed a bug where the staff's magic arrow took damage from all weapons in the quick slots. I don't even know what that means, but apparently they fixed it. So I don't know if, like, if you were using spells, if it, like, killed the staff's attacks or what's going on there, but apparently it doesn't do that anymore. Great. And then I have no idea what this last one is. The cashback formula in the Alchemist shop has been changed. I don't know what that means, what that does, or what that's supposed to do, but it's there, and it does something. Anyway, I guess up next, let me see here. I don't really want to show my Steam window, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read off what the DLCs do. Okay, so for the Green Novice, about this content, the famous Awakened set for those who want to grasp the essence of things more quickly. When you purchase this wonderful set, you will receive 300 Ledum, Mineral Bag, Herbalist Bag, 3 Simple Chests, 2 Wrist Chests, 1 Gothic Chest, and a new appearance for your character. And then it has some screenshots It shows like the minerals you get, shows the appearance you get, and the chests that you get. So basically, it's just like a starting off thing. It's $4.99 to buy this if you want a little boost when you start the game, or whatever it is. And then let me see here. Let me see here. We looked at that one. Let's look at the mining company shares. It says support mining companies by buying their shares. Not only will you become a partner, but you will also receive access to buying shares on the market, full foreman set, a golden pickaxe, 2,000 leadum, 3 mineral bags, 5 times more ore for being absent while attending to worldly affairs, which is not a lot. Not a lot, because you don't get anything as it is. So 5 times more, nah. Like, you still want to be grinding with the game on, guaranteed. And then 2 new miner appearances, Red Willie and Sebastian. This thing is $20, and then the screenshots show. So apparently for the shares, like it shows, ore has been mined under the sign of the whale. There's 4 different companies apparently. There's Whale, Spark, Blue, and Granite. Since the days of the ancient kings, company's first tunnels were dug and shwooba-da-ba-da-bee. It says like reputation is 25%. It says you have invested in mining company Whale shares. Return on investment Whale this season 450% gold. Next season is in 4 hours. And then it says revenues from other mining companies. Spark is 225%, Granite is 66.67%, and Blue is 71.88%. So I don't know if they like consistently flip around and you somehow buy shares. It doesn't really show that at all. It shows the armor that you get. It's like a golden miner's outfit, but it doesn't show what the stats are or what it does. So you won't be able to see that unless you buy this DLC. Then it shows the appearances, it shows the ores that you get, and then that's it. So that's the second one, and then we have the Alchemist Guild. See, for this one, it says, join the Alchemist Guild. You will enjoy the following benefits. Alchemist Guild ring, offering a 20% discount on store merchandise and services sold for Mercury. So that would be like the bottom row in the shop, and then all of the buffs on the left side. A rare ruby catalyst, twice as effective as a standard one. Okay, so that just buffs your potions even more than the regular catalyst does. Makes sense, okay. A set of expensive potions and concentrates, so... Alright. Order Mercury exchange rate is 25% more favorable. I don't know if that's like just a straight 25% multiplier or like on top of everything else. I would hope it is. Especially since this thing costs 50 bucks. You get 3 quintessences, it cleanses sigils of their negative aspects. You get 1 astral chest, 5,000 leadum, and 2 new alchemist appearances. Issachar and Scarecrow. It shows the quintessences, the ring, all of this stuff goes in your miscellaneous inventory. The catalyst turns red instead of green. The Scarecrow is a pumpkin head dude, and the other guy's got purple hair and a beard. And then you get 1 astral chest, and that's it. And again, this is $50. So, kind of weird. And then, of course, we got the Big Daddy. The Brotherhood of the Awakened. Become one of the Awakened and get closer to perfection. Let's see. In this DLC, you get Awakened. A subscription is available for life. I don't know what that means. But apparently you get all this stuff forever. I don't know if that means that the other ones you don't get it forever or what, but prices and services in the store for Ludum are reduced by 20%, so that's everything on the right side and everything in the first, is it four rows? How many rows we got? Yeah, first 4 rows, so all this stuff is 20% less. So this 405 would be like 75 off or something. Whatever that math would equate to. And then everything over here would be a lot less. This is insane! What is insane? And then let's go back over here. 3 free store rerolls. Reroll cooldown reduced by 1 hour, so it'll be 2 hours instead of 3 hours for the cooldown, and you get 3 free rerolls. I don't know if that means you get 3 free rerolls every time it reaches the cooldown, or if you then have to spend Ludum to reroll. Because right now you can spend 10 Ludum to reroll 1 time in the 3 hours. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I guess that's okay. It says, every day at 4:20 p.m. you will receive your share of Ludum, brother. 100. You get 100 Ludum once a day. Even though you get 50 an hour just for playing the game for free. Doesn't seem like a lot. The amount of Ludum received from quests and worldly affairs is tripled. So I'm guessing that means anything that gives you 8 or 12 from doing feuds. And then if you get like 150 instead of 50 an hour for picking it up off the ground every hour. Or that probably means offline. Just from quests and being offline is tripled. Which is probably still worse than just playing and getting the 50 an hour. Thought I was doing the Zelda Singularity event. It should say exactly what I'm doing in the title of the stream. Question mark? Unless it didn't change it for some reason. No, it says what I'm doing. It totally does. Then you get 5 herbalist bags, which is whatever. Full awakened set, so it's another set of armor. You get 3 awakened chests, 10,000 Ludum. Which if we go, how much are they asking for? You get 17,000 for $100, which is how much this DLC costs, by the way. It's $100 for all of this. And then the last thing is 3 new awakened appearances. You get Yan, Johan, and Morgan. And if we look at the screenshots, it shows the different appearances. You get 100 and, well, it depends on what island you're on. It shows 150 on the screenshots here. And then you get 3 awakened chests, which are kind of whatever. It doesn't show the... Oh, is there not? There is an armor for this one? Okay, never mind. Full awakened set. Where's that at? Oh, it's like a pirate outfit. You get a bandana and a green vest and some green pants. But it doesn't show the stats or what they do or anything, so same as the golden miner's outfit and the golden pickaxe. It doesn't show any of that stuff. But yeah, all this stuff is probably not worth what they're asking for. Some of that stuff is okay, most of it just seems kind of whatever, to be completely honest. Yeah, so that's the patch notes. Now we'll go over the things that immediately affect my build. Obviously, number 1 is Firewalk being completely destroyed. This thing not being affected by anything anymore. While not completely like game breaking, it is still an issue because I think just completely making it to where nothing affects it is just ridiculous. Like I explained earlier, at least cut down, just cut down the amount that it's affected by or something. You know, make my time and effort mean something. Don't just completely negate everything that I've done over the last however many months of playing this game and just completely strip that off of this buff, because that's for a donkle in my opinion. In my opinion. And also, I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but well, we'll have to watch again. But for whatever reason, and I'm really hoping this is a bug that gets fixed ASAP. But you know how before, when I would do a grind run, I'd get like 140 trillion Mercury? So something happened in this patch, somewhere at some point. Whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. Whether it's a bug or not, I don't know. But I went from like 140, 150 trillion Mercury for every grind run, or every rebirth, or whatever you want to call it. And now I'm only getting 500 billion. That is a problem. Like right now, I would usually be at like a few trillion. And I'm only at 41 billion. And I have the stats buff, which is way amplified because of that triple Gorgor's ring being leveled up a bajillion times. But yeah, I don't know what they did, I don't know what they broke, I don't know what they changed. There's nothing about it in the patch notes because we just went over the patch notes. But I am now getting like a 1/1000th of what I used to. And like all of my stats are the same. Like I still have the 10,000 Mercury from feuds. All of my like my mining's even higher now because of the stat buff increase. I'm almost at 2 million, which is a lot more than what I used to have. And then just upgrading some of the mineral search rings that I had before. I used to be I'm at 11,486. I think I was at 7,000 something before. So I've gone up almost 4,000 mineral search. And with the stats that I have, like I should be getting like way more than I was before. 140, 150 trillion, way more than that. But now, like, I'm only getting however many billion. That's a problem. For obvious reasons. Because like in my store, look at how much it costs for one plate and everything now. 10.3 trillion for gold value, 8.4 trillion for base damage, 11.9 trillion for total damage, 9.9 trillion for experience gain, and then obviously I could buy regeneration if I wanted to, but I don't. I'm really hoping this is a bug and somebody looks at it and fixes it ASAP, because I am legitimately wasting time playing this game right now. And like, I will not be able to buy these stats anymore. 540 billion instead of 140, 150 trillion. That's a problem. That is a problem. Because if we take that 540, right? Like where's Mr. Calculator? Let's just take the highest one, 11.9 trillion. Okay, so let's do 11, 9. Let's just make it easy. 900. So that's 11,900,000. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 11.9 million divided by 540 billion. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 540 billion. Equals 22. I would have to do 22 runs to be able to buy a point. You know how long it takes to do a run, especially now that the run speed is lower and less consistent? Before it would take me like 4 to 5 minutes to do a run depending on when I got buffs. Now it's probably taking me 6 to 8 minutes to do a run. depending on when I get buffs and how long I can keep up the run speed buff. So let's just do like a even 7. What's 22, like this number and then times 7. Wait, times 7? No, it would be divided by 7. So 22.03 divided by 7 equals 2,273. Is that even right? I don't know how to do math. Also, I have no idea what that number is. That's not even what I had. Where did that number come from? I don't know how to use a calculator, apparently. Oh, I can go back. 722. How did that even happen? We want this one. So 22. So divide this by 7. Is 3. Three hours? That can't be right. I'd probably have to divide it by seconds, huh? So 7 minutes is 420 seconds. No, it's not right either. I don't know how to calculate what I'm trying to look for here. So anyway, 22 runs, 7 minutes apiece. I guess it would just be 22 times 420, then divided by 60. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do math. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Anyway, it's a long time compared to, you know, getting 140, 150 trillion a run and being able to buy, you know, 15 of these. Now I have to do 22 runs to be able to buy 1. That is massive. That is a massive difference. And that's very bad. That's very bad. So basically right now the only reason why I have the game on is because of the changes to the rings of power, and I'm farming minerals. That is what's going on here. That is the only reason why I still have this game turned on right now. So yeah, hopefully somebody sees this, or I've made a post on the Steam discussion board. Unfortunately, nobody has. Nobody has responded to it, or whatever it is, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully somebody sees this, somebody sees that post, somebody does something somewhere and fixes this issue, if it is an issue. If it's something that they wanted to do and they just didn't put it in the patch notes, then please put it in the patch notes at the very least. Good lord. Otherwise, yeah, like my save is, it's not like completely bricked, it's just Like, I am not going to be able to gain Mercury anymore at the rate that I was, or at an even higher rate now that I should be getting it. But anyway, those are like the only things that I've noticed so far, because I haven't really done too much. I haven't had any feuds or anything to run through. But obviously, with the rings leveled up a lot higher than they used to be, my damage is a lot higher. My start for the grind run is a little bit higher, so that's good. But I guess we'll move on. I was asked in some comments on one of the other streams to showcase how I get through the different modifiers for feuds and stuff. And honestly, there's not a whole lot to show. I guess first I'll go over the build that I use for everything now, since my stats are as high as they are. Basically, this is my grind build. I set it up to be level 5 in everything for the most part. I don't know why I get 6 wizardry. That's just where I stopped. I stopped at 2 shooting because I don't know why I did that either, but that's just what it does on its own. I don't take any hunting. I got a level 5 mining, level 5 herbalism. The reason why I got a level 5 on everything is because that's the amount that you need for the Gorgor stat buff to take full effect on the stats. They changed that in a patch a couple patches ago. So this buff right here, currently giving 189,614 stats. So as you can see, everything is at 189.7. Now it's at 204 because I got another point in Sacred Awe down here in the prayer tree. With my mining amulet on, I get 774% increase mining, so it's at 1.8 million because of that. And again, with the Rings of Power being able to level up a lot higher now. This used to be like 1.1 million with Sacred Awe, and now it's at 1.8 and it gets over 2. The reason why I get everything else at level 5 is because magic gives you mana, so you basically have all the mana you could ever want to use. Ease and Air Handshake, or this grind build in particular. And then I build the Stamina Spheres that gives 1% damage per unused point of stamina, so 24%. And then close combat, shooting, defense, and mining all give stamina when you put points into them. So having all those at level 5, obviously I only put level 2 into shooting because I don't know why. I don't know why I stopped at 2. I probably shouldn't have even leveled it up at all, but that's how the build works. Everything gets everything. Same thing for wizardry and prayer. Those give spirits, so getting those to at least level 5. Why it's level 6, I don't know. That's just where I went. So they give a bunch of stuff. And then obviously I'm using the cleric set, so that gives me the 300 and whatever. I think it's 320%. Oh, it's only 300. I thought it was 320, so that's fine. 300% to prayer, so my spirit is at 133.8 million. My stamina is at 2 billion with the extra levels in the rings now. And the amulet, my amulet gives 772 mining. And then my health is also to the root because I have some stuff for that. And so we get most things to level 5 just to have the stats down here. Herbalism to level 5 because obviously having a bunch of points in herbalism makes herbs spawn more, and we take just one of each to pick everything up, and a little bit of flower power because nothing else really matters in that tree, especially now that they changed triplicate. Cunning I only may go to level 3 just to get some weasel and pickpocket. Pickpocket's really good because you get potions for free. You can get ambrosias, you can get the go back potion, whatever that thing's called. You can also get your basic heals and whatever else, so it's nice to have when you're just running through dudes. The prepare, we take one of everything for the buffs, so we pick up all the buffs, and then we put one road to faith and we use Wine of the Gods to work together to make altars spawn fairly commonly, whatever you would say for that. And then everything else goes into Sacred Awe. Sacred Awe extends your blessing's durations and enhances its power by 50% per point. They recently changed this, I believe, in the last patch to have a increased spirit cost to activate. For the way that my grind run is set up, it only has enough time to go to level 17. It usually hits it around like 32 to 35 zone-wise. And it's no, now it puts this up to like how much does it go up by? It goes up by 14,000, so another 14, it'll be at 233 or something at 17. And before it used to be around 150,000, I think, maybe a little bit more, 170, I forget. But yeah, this is the main way that I gain all the stats to be able to, well, used to be able to get as much Mercury as I did. Because this, with the mining amulet, would magnify the mining skill points. And for every point you have in a mining, you get 2% mineral search. You combine that with mineral search stat on rings. And the stat buff and everything else, and it's just dumb. But since it's currently broken or potentially changed on purpose without there being any indication of that being a thing, I currently do not get anywhere near what I should be getting. Because again, before I was getting 140, 150 trillion, but now with the increased level in the rings and how much higher my stat buff is and how much higher my actual stats are because of that, I should be getting like 300 to 500 trillion a run, maybe even more. But since it's currently broken and not working like it used to at the very least, that's not what happens right now. And then up here, I put one in a cavalry strike to get the AoE attack, because that helps a lot before you have the fire buff if you don't get the fire buff for a while. To do the big fire wave from prayer. And then everything else just goes into strong will to increase speed. Because obviously we want to try to run as fast as possible, especially now since I nerfed the run speed buff into the dirt. And then everything else you can kind of just put whatever. I put 6 air attack just to have some extra damage. I don't think these matter. I think I just spent them just because. And then Wizardry, it's 2 Flower Fairies and 4 Astral Power just to get a little bit extra damage. Mining, it's 1 Autosmith to level up all the stuff, so I can automatically get the techniques spent, and then everything else is just look at the miner to try to get as much minerals as possible for upgrading rings and stuff. Herbalism, I already went over that, and then Cunning, I already went over that. Okay. Okay, shooting doesn't matter. I think it just automatically puts 2 in stance. And yeah, that's the basics of the build itself, stat-wise. As for the items that I use for grinding, we use a Banshee's Cry, 1 point of Chopping Strike, because Chopping Strike was upgraded with the... where is it? Simple Techniques. This does not say Chopping Strike, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Slashing Strike as Chopping Strike or something. One of these is Chopping Strike. Because before I was just putting everything into Astral Power, but getting Chopping Strike gives you the AoE attack, everything nearby, and with that increase, the damage is way higher. As you can see, it's 567,683% right now, which is pretty good. Now we put 10 into Astral Weapon, because 30% increased damage for each unused point of spirit. Right now I have 125.2 million spirit, so that's a lot of damage. And then again with the Stamina Spheres, because my stamina is 1.9 billion, 24% per point of unused stamina. So that's 24 point times 1.9 billion. That's a lot of damage. Over here we use Whisper. Put 1 point into Triple Strike, because that's all you need. Everything else goes into Dissection, because Dissection is incredible. Every time you hit the enemy, it fills a hidden meter. Then when it gets to 100%, you do a multiplied amount of damage. This is also modified by the Thief's Life skillbook. Every time you level up Cunning, it gives you a multiplier on Dissection, Blinding, Poison Strike, Gold on Impact, and Gold Defense. So this could be a lot higher than what it is, but it's only 20,000. And I think the percentage goes up too. On like filling the meter, it goes up to like 150 or something. If you level up Cunning a lot. I obviously don't really need it, because I just need to be able to get started. So I don't need very much. Like, we'll see as soon as it levels up the first time with the auto leveler, it pretty much just kills whatever's right in front of me. I'm stuck for a second, but... yeah, as soon as it hits that first level, everything dies. Then we have Air Handshake. This is one of the newer runes that they introduced with the staffs in the last update, I think. This increases... actually, I don't even think this works on me, now that I read it. One ally's weapon. Does this really only work for allies? Maybe this doesn't actually do anything, and tearing one would be better. I don't know. But I do have allies though, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll have to look at that a little bit, because I don't know how to read apparently. Over here we have the attack speed with just a bunch of techniques. I can probably change this to just be full attack speed at this point, especially with the stat buff. By 71 mana cost, reduced by 84. Yeah, I could probably change that. And then I have the XP bow just to get extra XP, 360% experience with all technique spheres. All of these items, you like this one, you only need to have rarity 11. Same thing with the bow, I just have 21 because I could do it for fun. Same thing with Whisper. Whisper only needs to be 11 just to get the 24 slots, because the damage and percentages on the techniques themselves don't change as rarity increases. So you don't need to have like a super high rarity. Just the only things you need to have high rarity on is the Banshee's Cry for this build, which is what I'm doing the damage with. And then obviously I did this one because I thought I was getting the effect, but if it only works on allies, then I should probably swap it out. And especially now, that speed is worse, I should probably swap back over to Tearing Wind. Should probably. And I'll save this build when it's close to being done, I guess. I'll go over my rings and stuff in a second. Let me save this real quick. Let me save this real fast. Well, I get the 49 and I'll camp. There's obviously anything to get my speed up is preferable, of course. Alright, let's camp. Grab that, grab this. Grab the miner, and then that's the wrong menu. Let's go ahead and overwrite. Actually, hold on. Let's spin that, and then overwrite. Okay. I don't think there's anything else I want to use. I could use Red Moon for more levels. Question mark, but I don't think it really matters. I think I just want to run as fast as I can. Okay, let's let this finish up and then we'll look at armor. Look at the armor. Oh yeah, I guess I should go over that too. So for my sigil, I use the prayer one. Prayer branch increases level 30% faster, so I can get as many sacred awes as fast as possible, especially if I'm actively playing. This is huge for getting the stat buff. I have used a quintessence on it to get rid of the negative effect. I don't remember what the negative effect was, so probably have to look at that in your own game if you haven't used a quintessence on that. And then for my amulet, I already showed I'm using just a mining amulet. Versal Lettuce is okay for XP, but other than that, everything else on this amulet is doing a whole lot of nothing right now. And then of course, for the set of armor, I'm using the Cleric set. They still haven't fixed these things. Every time you level up, it flashes the armor stat windows for some reason. But basically, these give you a bunch of health, the pants give you a bunch of spirit, and then the main thing, they give you the power of the 3 blessings by hats at 55-17%, chests at 37-37 because it's only a 17, my pants are 18, it's giving 42-92%. And basically, all that stuff modifies the stat buff, which then gives me more mineral search, and obviously modifies everything else, so my... except for the fire rock buff now. So like this is the fire attack buff. 57,428% fire damage, which is based on your total damage. And yeah, so basically the prayer buffs are just totally stupid with how I'm geared. The majority of my rings are mineral search, stamina percent, spirit percent. This one has XP gain. There's some power of the 3 blessings, and there's a lot of Gorgors. This one has double experience gain because having levels to do stuff with active play is good. This ring is really old, so I haven't leveled it up. It's just mineral search and a bunch of random stats, a little bit of stamina percents. This ring is mineral search, axe damage because we're using axes, fire damage, I guess because it was on there, a little bit of spirit, a little bit of power of the 3 blessings, 771 total damage, so a little bit of everything. This one's kind of the same thing. It's got 70%, bunch of mineral search. Everything else on it's kind of whatever. It's got a little bit of damage, melee weapons in each hand, a little bit of one-handed, which are both okay, a little bit of power of 3 blessings. This one does not have... oh, it has a little bit of mineral search, but this one's mostly damage. It's got 1558 spirit, 1676 stamina percent, 3211 total damage. A little bit of axe damage, a little bit of one-handed damage. Most is just a damage ring. This was my really old health ring. I leveled this up because it's got the double Gorgors on the bottom, which modifies the stat buff by a lot. I probably shouldn't have leveled up this ring because it's really old, but just for the time being, until I find another ring that's got double Gorgors on the bottom or whatever it is for the purple stats. Just level that up like that for now. This is one of my newer rings. I level this one up the most because this one gives a lot of everything. Gives a ton of mineral search. Also, it's not going to level anything up because I'm in the menu. Hold on. Okay. It's got a little bit of attack speed, bunch of mineral search, bunch of stamina percent, bunch of spirit percent on the purple stats, bunch of mineral search. A little bit of damage on melee weapons in each hand, so it's got a lot of damage on here, 9,000 total damage, so just a really good ring overall for what I'm trying to do. This is my triple Gorgors ring. A little bit of spirit, a little bit of stamina percent, some running speed, which is actually useful now. And then yeah, the triple Gorgors. giving me like 2400% to increase the stat buff. This is something. Some weird ring I made. It's got a lot of stamina on it. A little bit of Gorgoys. And air damage and axe damage. I'm using air as my main element, so that helps. And then this ring, I think it's just a bunch of spirit. Well, not a bunch. It's pretty old at this point. A little bit of total damage, a little bit of spirit, some one-handed. So like this ring can pretty much go at any point. If I get a better whatever, and they fix the Order Mercury problem that I'm currently having. But that's pretty much my grind build, how it works, all the stats and everything. As far as like the actual modifiers go for like feuds and stuff, like needing specific weapons, anything that requires sword and shield or just sword, I use Abyss. This is a two-handed sword. Got 55% attack speed, 100% base damage. I also put stamina spheres into it, and you just put all of the technique points into your astral weapon. And this just blasts through all of the sword areas. For anything that's like magic or runes only, I just have this earth staff right now, or the fire staff. I also have the air staff. With earth, I use sand tornadoes, even though I don't think it matters because none of the earth runes are that good. Fire staff, the new Armageddon rune, is pretty good. You just gotta make sure that you have some sort of health regen. Otherwise, you die with Armageddon. And then for air, I was using the new lightning bolt one because that looks cool. Even though air arrows is probably still better since it doesn't have a cooldown timer. Either way you go, if you're where I'm at in the game and your stats are just stupid and you kill everything in one shot anyway, it doesn't really matter what you pick for those, as long as it's some sort of a rune and some sort of a staff. You can also use like the elemental shield. This is decent if you don't have staffs because they increase the power of whatever runes that they affect. So this is the air rune modifier. 77% per technique. Fill it with technique spheres. And then it goes up by like almost 1000% or something, which is pretty nuts. If we're doing bow only, I was using the XP bow for a while because I wanted as much XP as possible, especially towards the end, to try to get as much mineral surge as I could. But it's pretty slow using this bow, just because it doesn't have any like special effects on it or anything. So basically, I just went back to using Demiurgi. This has powerful shot and astral weapon. Powerful shot's really good, especially if you have like 10 split. It makes it to where... Why does this say 1 point... You know what? Never mind. Yeah, basically, if the arrow kills an enemy, it pierces and hits the next enemy and more than likely kills it. So, really good. You put 1 point into that and then everything else in an astral weapon. I'm not entirely sure why this is saying 1.5 million% increased damage because it did not used to be that high. I do know this is modified by defense for some reason. And apparently it's being modified by something else now as well because this number did not used to be this high. This is also being modified by the newer Archer skill book. Here's a powerful shot, target shooting, and hail of arrows. I've never used hail of arrows, so I don't know how good that is, unfortunately. Oh, I was muted the whole time. Having a throat is terrible, apparently. Let me reiterate anything I've said over the last whatever. So, I don't need to do anything for this right now, even though I use physical damage, because I do enough damage to get through this resistance. So I'm not even sure what that does. This area is probably the one you would want to farm if you're not trying to farm Mercury, because the lost ones, these are the dudes that drop the skulls in the miscellaneous inventory that give you 1% increased to a random stat every time you rebirth. So you probably want to farm this. I don't think not having chaos bones doesn't do much. Like, yeah, you have to like manually click and whatever, but overall that doesn't really change a whole lot, for me personally anyway. Allies are prohibited, so if you're like a necromancer or something, you're screwed. I've never tried to do a necromancer build before because it just seems kind of not great. Like, everything is based off of the weapons you have and your total damage, so like you're still going to be doing more damage than any allies or something. Like, I don't really understand it, but I've never tried to build for it either. So this just gives you like a random effect in a feud. I don't know how long I've been muted, so I don't know what all was missed explanation wise. Maybe I should just redo everything. Maybe I should just go over everything, because I don't know how long I was muted. Yeah, we'll do that. How long was I muted? Let's find out. Let's play. Turn on the sound. Let's go. So I'm muted right here. I don't know what I'm going over right here. It doesn't really matter what you pick for those. Okay, so there's that. There's that. And now I'm muted. Especially if you have like 10 split. 10 split. It makes it to where... Yeah. Tell me more. Why does this say 1. Okay, so we're talking about the bows. Talking about the bows. So here I cough, and I apparently don't unmute. Okay, so from this point forward, what am I going over? Okay, so I know exactly where I was muted from now. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back and redo. Let's go back. So I was talking about like maces only, so let's go back. Gotta redo, because being muted is great. So yeah, I was talking about the bow and the bow stats, and I was talking about maces only, which means I need to basically go over everything. So maces only, I used to do tier and the XP shield because they both have the XP technique. So I was trying to get as much XP as possible to get as much mineral search as possible. But now I've gone back to just using Warped Hammer as Astral Weapon. And Stamina Spheres, because I have a lot of stamina. Just blasting through stuff. You can still use the XP shield if you want for extra XP. Otherwise you can use like the altar shield for the extra damage from altars. And then yeah, like any of the other modifiers, I pretty much just use the same build. So like the 10 times stamina consumption and 200 times 10 200 damage. I used to put this back on that I use for sword only, but now I just stick with the same build because the stamina doesn't matter because I have almost 2 billion. Anything that's like a gold modifier, you just get more gold. You don't really got to worry about that. No spirit. Only differences that I do there is I just don't level up prayer on my own. I usually get to level 20 prayer, but I don't do that there because obviously there's no spirit, so Sacred Awe doesn't affect any of the buffs. So I just level up straight mining. And then the only other major thing is you want to level up Chopping Strike instead of Astral Weapon. And basically for that, you just wait till it levels up the first time and then right click Chopping Strike, so it puts all the points into it. For no runes, I don't change anything. And then you just don't have magic, so it's just a little bit slower because you lose the attack speed. And since I've gone back to Tearing Wind, I'll lose a little bit of running speed as well. No altars is interesting. The way that I set that one up is, obviously there's no altars, but you can still pray. So praying gives you a chance to get any of the buffs. If you have a point into all 3 of the gods, then you have a chance to get any of the 9 buffs. Well, if you turn off your build and you only put 1 point in the Gorgors, then you have a 1 out of 3 chance to get the stat buff. So basically it's just pause the build, Ambrosia, zone 1, camp, put 3, get the level 3 prayer, put the 1 point in the Gorgors and pray. If you get the stat buff, you win. If you don't, oops. You can either wait 5 minutes and try again before you do your run through that area, or you can just go like I usually do, because waiting 5 minutes is just whatever. And losing 1 area's worth of Mercury isn't going to kill anybody. I hope. But that's a major difference there, and then I usually just turn the build back on, so I lose like 1 Sacred Awe, because it'll put another point to Gorgors. But that's like the major difference there. You just got to do a little bit of manual setup at the beginning, or no altars. And then I don't think there's any other modifiers that I change anything for. I'm pretty much just always this build for everything, unless it requires a specific weapon now, because anything that's like a stat modifier or no spirit or whatever, like I just have enough damage to get through it regardless at this point. So those things I don't really have to worry about anymore, since feuds stop at Silver Reef Island. And then I think that's pretty much all that was missed. And then after that I came up here and was trying to explain like the different modifiers up here. So for this stuff, this one's just Goatman. So you just do whatever you do, kill the Goatman. Magic is not reset. Enemies have 50% resistance to physical damage. So this is basically just your damage is cut in half, I guess. I have enough damage to get through this area, so like this one right here, I can probably still do it just fine, which I may or may not demonstrate here in a minute. This area kind of sucks. Potions are prohibited. This is bad because there's no one of the gods, there's no ambrosia, there's no go banks, there's no poison. Poison's a really good potion. There's no run speed, there's no elemental damage, there's no fairy. Just like all the stuff that I use, like it's just gone. This wouldn't be a big deal now because I don't use Ambrosia to clear anymore, because you get more levels for just running through naturally for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. So I don't think this area would be that big of a deal now, but because I used to just Ambrosia through everything, but then like I started just running through regularly, and you get like a lot more XP for some reason. This modifier right here completely negates my entire build, because there's no spirit, so there's no Sacred Awe to modify the stat buff, and there's no blessings. No blessings means that you can't pray, and you get no blessings from altars. Altars still exist, so you can use sacrilege from the cunning tree to get minerals from them if you want to. But otherwise, like, my entire build is negated by this area, and I will not, like, if I clear this, I will not be able to do this at all. Because where I'm at in this area, like, I absolutely have to have the stat buff from Gorgors to be able to do damage. Because otherwise I don't have enough stamina to do the damage that I need to do to be able to kill stuff, and I'll probably demonstrate that in a little bit once we look through some of the other stuff. Since I was muted, and explaining stuff is hard when you're muted. If you're not trying to farm Mercury, this is probably the modifier you would want to farm, because the lost ones, these are the guys that drop the skulls that you get in your miscellaneous inventory. That gives you the 1% bonus to whatever stat it gives you when you rebirth. So if you want to set up for like total damage or experience gain or whatever it is, you just rebirth until you get the stat that you want, and then you start clearing like current content, or if you do a feud. whatever it is. I usually go for XP, just to try to level up as much as I can and get as much minerals as possible, even though the ore to Mercury conversion seems to be broken right now. For whatever reason, whether they broke it on accident or they changed it intentionally and just didn't put it in the patch notes because they forgot. This area's allies are prohibited, so that's bad. I'm pretty sure I was going over this when I realized I was muted. So if you're necromancer or whatever, that's no bueno. Random conditions, so this just gives you a random food thing. So if you get like you can get like the axes only, you can get no spirit, you can get no altars. But I think this actually, does this reset whenever you leave? So only bows can be used. Movement speed is increased by 100%. So now if I leave, if it's random, it should change, right? Oh, okay, so it works like the element one. So like it says it's random, but it's a set thing per area. So like in the feuds for like the Ghost Island feud, the runes only area, it has an elemental modifier. It says random. It's not random, it's always a set element. And that particular area is earth damage. So you have to use earth runes only, and then now you can use staves in those areas, staves, whatever. But it's always earth. It's not random. The effect is random, like based on each area. So like that one particular area is always earth, but like if you find another one, it's gonna be a different element, but it's always gonna be that same element. So this is the same thing here. It's not random per se. It is just a particular condition that you have to clear. So like this one is bows only, so you have to use bows in this area. So you have to have a decent bow, have enough damage with whatever build. That's just more goats. Allies prohibited. After each rebirth, the location transforms into a different one. Currently has the following properties: stronghold. So this thing, that actually doesn't work though, because I was gonna say you could change this into a double possessed, but the thing is you would have to turn auto rebirth off and actually finish the area, because I don't think finishing the area counts as a, or no, they changed that, didn't they? It counts as a rebirth now when you finish the area, but it does. It's not gonna flip the effect. So like you would have to actively play if you wanted a higher level double possessed. You would have to rebirth here to flip it until you got the double possessed modifier, and then you would have to manually exit and re-enter the area to be able to farm a higher island, because all of the older modifiers cut off before or at island 50. So you like where this is at, you can no longer get double possessed except for from this, but it is super tedious to do. Let's see, this is enemies attack 10 times faster, have 25% chance to dodge attacks, melee attacks by the hero, and allies have 3% chance to knock back the enemy. I would just do my regular stuff here, that doesn't really do anything. They like to use this physical damage resist a lot. They really want you to use staves, for sure. I'm a stavy staff. Let's see if we can find any other ones. No, what is this? All enemies are archers. Enemy attack speed increased by 100%, curse has no effect. Shooting is not reset. I guess they want you to shoot bows at people shooting bows. But for this, you can just run through with whatever you got. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. Curse not having an effect doesn't really do much, because they're still going to be affected by disease, more than likely. So that's that area is kind of whatever. Maximum health reduces by 7%, maximum stamina is reduced by 30%. Plants do not grow, and there's 5 times fewer animals. Many wells are contaminated. So this is just basically run through as fast as you can. Get the hell out of here. Don't really need to change anything for that. Just don't get hit. Have more stamina than you need, like I do, and then not a big deal. That's the archer one. What is this? Everything is mixed, and any zones may be present. Druid altars appear 4 times more frequently. Okay. Any zones may be present. What does that even mean? I guess the zones are like random. They're not set like they would usually be. Then obviously here, if you want to take advantage of the druid altars, you can just put some points into hunting. And if you're fire damage, you obviously want to look for the fire damage, 10 times fire damage for 10 minutes or whatever it is. There's one for water, there's one for wind, there's also one for earth. Other than that, like the only other decent ones are the fat game, allies prohibited. So yeah, I think that's most of the newer ones. I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be. Which is prohibited. We already talked about that. Enemy archers. Wind stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all the new ones. For all the new modifiers. Oh, what's this? Speed limit has been reduced by a factor of 3 and it cannot be restored. Chaos Fiends are frozen. Game flies at half the usual speed. Monsters have a 1% chance of freezing you when they attack. That sounds terrible. I actually want to see what this does. I don't remember. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not doing any damage right now. So basically, how I have to set up these later zones is I have to actively go in here and pray. And if I don't get the thing, then I just grind XP for 5 minutes. And then grind altars. Okay, so we got stat buff, so we can actually kill stuff. As soon as I get the stat buff, like I do enough damage to kill everything. Then we just run through. That's just how it'll be. So right now I'm running at 66, which is really slow. Obviously all the buses are going to be dead, so I'm not going to be able to see them being frozen, but... Yeah, this sucks. This sucks. This is terrible. And then, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to go over or not. To be perfectly honest. But that's just how I do everything with this build that I have. And all the stats and everything. Hopefully whatever was muted out earlier, I went over and covered. But yeah, honestly, I don't really change a lot of what I do. I don't use a lot of different builds. I don't, I used to have to do that, but then, like, my stats just got ridiculous because of how many feeds I've done at this point. I guess I should go over that. Like, right now, I have 16,610% gold, 31,230% increased total damage. Experience is almost 10,000, got a little over 25,000 elemental damage, almost 10,000 Mercury, which doesn't matter right now because they broke it. I am going to keep saying that out loud until somebody fixes it. Critical damage is a little over 15,000 because I have never taken this as a reward. Critical damage isn't as good because it doesn't affect the fire buff from prayer, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect a few other things. Then ally damage, allies just don't do much for me personally. Like, cause their damage is based off of how does it work? Depends on the hero's health, wizardry level, and necromancy perk. Depends on the hero's damage and wizardry level. So yeah, like anything that's gonna depend on your damage means that you're gonna be doing the damage. So like, I don't really understand like how the minions are supposed to work. Like let's take a look here. Unlocks access to higher level undead, skeleton warrior, ghost, skeleton mage, and increases undead health and damage by 300%. So I guess you really have to level this up a ton to make them not terrible and actually do more damage than you. But if their damage is based off your damage and then it's just modified by wizardry itself, and then whatever you have for like minion damage, and if you wear like the afterlife set, I guess. Where's that at? These guys. Allied undead strength. All these are like super old because I don't really get this gear that much from feuds. 17, 15. And obviously you use like Ghost with this set and get the skeleton buddy. One skeleton buddy and a bunch of astral weapon. Let's see if we can find Ghost real quick. Should be one up here somewhere. Here's a Ghost. So you get skeleton buddy. Skeleton health equals 100% of hero's health plus 100% of spirit. Skeleton deals 40% of the arithmetic average damage of weapons from the active panel. Yeah, so like anything being based on your damage is just seemingly never gonna do as much damage as you do. So like you still have to do the damage. Kind of? Like I don't really understand it. Obviously there's a lot of math involved. I'm not a mathematician by any means. Oh yeah, we can show this off now. So these are the spirit concentrates. Increase the maximum spirit by 800. So if you hold control and you click, you can buy 20. So now you can buy all of them at once instead of having to go through one by one and accept the confirmation every time, which is a very good change. And I don't see the new sigil in here still, so yeah, and then I was talking about the differences between the herbalist bag and the mineral bag or miner bag. So yeah, you get 450 herbs for where I'm currently at and 270. So you get half the amount of minerals that you get for herbs, which kind of sucks, but meh. And obviously now that it's affected by what island you're on, these will go up as you finish islands, which I currently cannot do because my build is completely negated by that one area. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all I really have to explain as far as like the area modifiers are concerned. Someone on YouTube asked me in the comments on one of the other streams to explain that stuff, so I did, and was also muted, so I had to re-explain some of it, which is perfectly fine. Also, never buy potions in the shop for Ledum. This is not worth it at all. Like this 150, this is 150 per potion. So if you try to buy 20 of these, it's 150 times 20. It's not, you get 20 for 150. That's not how it works. And remember, a rich chest is 150, where you are guaranteed 2 rings and more than likely an amulet. So spend your 150 Ledum on that. Don't buy potions. Not worth it. But anyway, yeah, my major thing right now is hopefully they fix this, because this is not what my Mercury number should be. This is not what my ore number should be. Before I would be getting trillions of ore and trillions of Mercury. And I do not know that anymore, and there's nothing anywhere in the patch notes that states that they nerfed that or changed it or whatever, so I'm really hoping it's a bug. I'm really hoping somebody sees this video or my post on the Steam discussions, looks into it, fixes it, because I should be getting way more. Way more. What area am I in? Oh, I'm still in this thing. Okay. I was like, why? What's going on here? Let's head back over here. So yeah, basically the only reason I still have the game turned on right now is to farm minerals. That's it. Minerals and herbs, because of the reduction of the cost for the Ring of Power upgrades. Otherwise, like, since the mineral stuff is broken, if I wasn't farming, or the Mercury amount is broken, if I wasn't farming minerals and herbs, like, I would just turn this game off. I would not be playing this game right now because it's broken. It's broken. Being broken is bad. Don't be broken, please, Mr. Game. Fix yourself. trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over or not. I don't think so. But yeah, I think this change is really bad. I think they need to at least make it to where it's just cut and not completely negated. Just make it to where it's only affected by a certain percentage if they don't want it to be, you know, fully affected and you're just always at full speed, full attack speed. Like, make it to where it at least does something, because I think just fully negating everything that I've worked for on this buff is just completely ridiculous. All the time and effort I have spent to make this buff and every other buff amazing. And that's the funny part, right? Like, a lot of these changes and nerfs and stuff that they put into the game has directly affected me and my build. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because, like, I'm one of the, like, few people that maybe put videos out and, like, show what I do every few days or whatever, and they just look at my streams and go, yeah, that sucks, we don't want that, and then they just completely destroy whatever I'm doing. And it keeps getting worse and worse. But I highly doubt anybody's like directly targeting me and what I'm doing, because that would just be weird behavior. But yeah, like pretty much all the major nerfs that they put into the game has like directly affected my build in some way. Like, they changed the stat buff to where you have to level everything up to level 5. Is that a big deal? No, I just dealt with it. Making Sacred Awe cost an astronomical amount more spirit every time you level it up. Does it affect me? No, because I have 133 million spirit right now, and the next cost is 409,000. So, like, doesn't affect me. But there are a lot of changes in the last like 2, 3, 4 patches that they put in that have directly affected my build in some way, or tried to. This one's pretty major. And yeah, like, I understand wanting your game to have diversity in terms of builds and stuff, but like, just constantly targeting a certain build or a certain stat or a certain way that somebody plays, like I'm pretty sure I would, like, this is the one thing that I would say. I'm sure there's other people that do something similar to what I do as well, but I would not be surprised if this modifier right here is because of me. Would not be surprised if that was the case. And again, there's probably a billion other people that are doing something similar to what I'm doing, or the same exact thing, or whatever it is to farm. And like do the easier content because everything is just too easy now, as far as feeds are concerned, because they only go up to a certain point. But yeah, like I don't know like who else, if anybody else streams this game or puts videos out or whatever, but I would not be surprised if I have a major effect on why this modifier was created. Would not be surprised one bit. But anyway, until I find the new sigil, I don't know if it's in the shop or if I had to do something specific for it, because there's nothing in here. Okay. Because the last sigil, the druid one, you had to click on one of the druid altars to get it. You had to get like a certain effect off of that. So I don't know if there's something you have to do. There aren't any new achievements. And it's not from getting that. So yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure where that comes from. Nothing happens when I camp. And if it has anything to do with like manually clicking, then I don't know like where it might be able to, where it might come from or what it is. So I don't know if it's just from the store. I guess we'll check this. Is there any sigils in any of these chests now? No. No sigils in chests, so not from that. It's not from that. I guess the last thing we can do, we can go do that last area that I'm able to do. Just for fun. I should be able to clear this as soon as I get the stat buff, of course. Let's go ahead and go pray. Let me turn on all my other potions too, so we're gonna need those. Let's go ahead and put this on 2 for now. There's the stat buff. Look at how much damage I'm doing now. So yeah, basically, like for this build, we can go by shooting to get more stuff. Actually, the lamp behind it doesn't do anything because I'm gonna use Turning Wind, but we can do that anyway. Do cunning for a little bit more damage on the stuff, and then of course we want a little prayer. What go? Also doing this right now is very bad because of the is the Mercury's broken or whatever's going on with that. So yeah, Sacred Odds, maybe go to 2.2 million mining. Dead guy. He's a dead guy. I can probably go up to 21 per if I wanted to. $12,000. If I'm getting over 100k, like I can definitely go to 21. Give me some rain, dog. $2.5, and then we probably just start leveling up mining. Yeah, so like I have more than enough stamina and stuff to just one-shot all the bosses. So this is how I would do a typical run before. I would just level up whatever it would be, right? And then at a certain point I would just swap over to mining. Because again, leveling a prayer gives you the spirit like I'm 180, whereas before I'd be like 130. I'm almost at 3 billion stamina. Let's see, what is this right now? 35,000. That could be a lot higher. This is 30%. I don't even have this leveled up, so like my damage could be way higher. At 41,000 unspent points, so like I could do like whatever here. And just do a bunch more air attack or more attack speed or whatever it is. And then I can like drop everything else here. Just do 18 astral power. So now my damage is just dumb. 2.3 Ock Dick. 11.9 Ock Dick. Yeah. And of course, if we look at the Mercury amount, this is 1.4 trillion. This should probably be a quad. But since it's broken, it's not. Probably might even be more than a quad. Let's go ahead and show off the Chaos Chests. These are supposed to give more minerals now. 234. Okay. I think before I gave like 5. So that's actually pretty good. $396. Yeah, that's pretty good. Obviously, this area is 20 rarity. Mercury is not worth anything. An old chest is just whatever. Here's the pickaxe I was talking about earlier that you would put on if you're using a bow. If you want to get more ores, more minerals, you would put this on with a bunch of technique spheres and do all look at the miner. And apparently that powerful hit is at 3,000,000% more damage. Great! Maybe you could just use that. Just go a-mining on everybody. I guess we can take all these for fun. My timers are getting up there. Yeah, let's I guess let's go see what happens with this boss. Just for fun. Dink! Me and all my friends! Lord Conan! Fantastic. So that's basically how my build works at a high level. I have to get the stat buff to be able to do any damage at all, but once I get the stat buff, I pretty much obliterate everything. Until I hit this. Until I hit this modifier. And then my build is just completely negated and does absolutely nothing. Because there's no spirit, so Sacred Awe is going to do nothing because it requires spirit to take effect. And without the stat buff, I don't get anywhere near the amount of stamina that I would need to do the damage required to win the game. Now, if I wanted to, we could try... Apparently I died. That's great. Because I have no health with any of this gear. Which means I'm probably gonna have to change bones. Yeah, I was trying this build. I don't think this does any damage. What is this? This is like an archer build. Like weird shit. Whatever. We can change all of this. Let me get rid of this stuff. You know that off. Take that off. So I'm probably gonna use this for damage amulets. I think this are actually it would be better if I just changed this so I don't have to worry about my rings. Let me take that off. We'll put this on. Where is that amulet at, by the way? That other one. Is it just one of these? Oh, it's just right here. Okay, so that's easy to find. So let's take this off. Let's take all this off. Probably leave on tearing wind. Probably leave on the bow. So I want to do like fire staff, and then Armageddon, and then like the only armor that I have that's worth putting on is like Volcair. So we'd have to upgrade. Let's see, that's a 22. I can make a 22 hat. And then let's see, chests, we can make a 20, 21. I apparently didn't upgrade that last time I tried to do this. And pants, we can make a 22, so that's a pretty decent upgrade. The problem with my rings and stuff is I don't have any fire damage. Obviously there's no spirits. All the spirit gain 10,000% increased spirit. That's not going to do anything. Stamina is going to do some stuff. Obviously none of the blessings are going to do anything because there's no blessings. The axe damage, I'm not using axes. The mineral search, Mercury is broken right now, so that's not going to do anything either. The experience gain is going to be nice if I can actually kill stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do enough damage. And then I got 41,000 fire damage, but that's not anywhere near enough. Like even if I upgrade all this armor and everything, it's just not going to be nothing. Why did that only go to 2? Oh, that's why. I'm confused. I was confused. What is happening? Alright, so 22. It's 10,448. So it went up like 2,000. Fire damage. We can do the same thing with the chest. Get this to 21. $18,750. And then pants, we can get to 22 as well. $10,448, so the same as a hat, I believe. Yeah. And then what is the set bonus now? Oh, it apparently took the pants off. Okay. There we go. Set bonus is 20,896% fire damage. So for this build, I usually just do one here, one here. I'm gonna have to turn my build off and just do a whole thing. I'm not entirely sure what this does, but I'll probably change it. We'll probably just do manual build, I guess. So I guess none of this matters. Alright, so we want close combat, we want shooting, we want magic. Obviously wizardry is nothing right now, so we're not going to take any of that. Prayer is nothing right now, so we're not going to be taking any of that. Basically down here it's just going to be herbalism for flower power, and then hunting for XP. We'll put like 6 hunting and then everything else into herbalism. Since Mercury is broken right now, we don't have to worry about mining. No wizardry, no defense, and basically just like a little bit of shooting to get split 1 mark. And apparently like this is okay. So maybe like one of these. Maybe some stance. And then we're basically gonna do just all technicality in here to get more fire damage on the staff, because this staff is considered a 2-handed melee weapon. And technicality does work. And in here, it's probably gonna just be 1 wisp, 1 fire click, And I don't know what else. But I have to reset my bones, I know that. 'Cause I don't have a lot of health. So let's just do like 20 here. Like 10 here. 5 here. 10 there. I don't really think a fire eclipse does anything. We want like 6 into that. We want like 10 into this. We're not gonna have allied creatures, so that doesn't matter. And then I guess we can do like 20 in curse. These bones don't really do anything. I'll just have to change the what's it called later. Why did it only turn on this potion? Or is that the only one that's just still running? That's the only one that's still running. Okay. And then over here, I think we do like 10 and 1. 17,000 mana cost. Okay. Well, we have enough mana for that to go off, so that should be fine. So let's go ahead and reset and see if I can even do any damage. I doubt it. Oh yeah, I got a reward because I cleared the one area. Sphere of Mana. Great. Alright, here we go. Alright. That. And then 10. Definitely want all of this. I'm just gonna go all attack speed. We'll get more stuff later, so that'll be fine. We want all XP. And then let's see, how do we want to start? Obviously we just want to go full herbalism. Full flower power. None of this other stuff is really gonna matter. Oh, I'll need a little bit of hunting. Let's go ahead and grab Wisp with the super perk. And then for now, let's just do... something. I don't know what's going to be doing the damage, is the only problem. It's going to be the rune, so probably let's just take ease. And then we basically just want to do a bunch of shooting. Whole bunch of shooting. Want a bunch of stamina. So let's do one of that. Bunch of splits. Do one marks. We'll start with that for now. What is my damage even at? I'm not even shooting. So I can turn off the melee. It's not shooting. That's really weird. I might have to put one in the stance so that way we stand still or something. That's really weird. Alright, what do we have? We have Ambrosia on the level 2. Okay. So I guess now we just farm XP. And see if we can actually get to a point where we're shooting stuff or not. Yeah, that's like the main issue, is it doesn't shoot when you're near the thing. Let's get one stance. Stop when you see an enemy, yes. I'm probably gonna have to turn Ambrosia out too. Let's put a slot here. We want all technicality. More fire damage. I should eventually be able to put all these points in technicality as I get more levels. And then more herbalism. And do that. For 4 million stamina is not enough. I'm punching for Kadik. These guys have like Ka or Ki VG health, or maybe even more at this point. Let's turn off Ambrosias and go back to zone 1. He's on fire. That's great. Okay, let's do this. Get hunting to at least 6. Nice search. Put the rest into that. Get a little bit more magic so we have more mana to work with. And then probably just more ease. So yeah, right now I just don't have enough mana. Yeah, and then as soon as you walk up to something, you just stop shooting. Which is completely terrible. Like, why they make it that you to where you don't shoot anymore is beyond me. Like, I don't understand that. But obviously the issue right now is mana. I'm probably gonna have to redo this and the mana cost down because this is really high for how much I'm attacking. Let's go ahead and reset. I'm gonna need more mana, even though I'm not doing any damage anyway. Go ahead and put this back on too. Because we're gonna have to collect flowers for a while to get this to even remotely be able to work. Okay. So let's do the same thing here. Let's actually do this first. We'll do this first. Get that done. Then everything else in here. Okay. So we want to level the room first. And then now we want to go back to farm herbs. Oh right, it doesn't grab herbs if you... It doesn't grab herbs anymore. Yep. Apparently I froze the guy. Was not near him. Well, shit. How do I do this then? I guess I have to like turn this off. Then go back. Then hopefully I can run as far as I can. Pick up whatever I can pick up for herbs. And then just go up to 2. And go back again. and then go as far as I can. Oh, I had erosion on shit. Yeah, see, so like this would be fine if it still shot while whatever. But as soon as you get in a melee range, it doesn't matter if you turn it off either, because you still punch. There's no way to turn off punching, so you shoot. It's just really bad. It's a really bad effect. Or just however it works, or it's supposed to work. Or doesn't work. Who knows? Because the main issue is like you don't even stop running like right as enemies enter the screen. You stop running when they're like halfway there, so they just walk up to you and then you immediately stop shooting. So the whole premise is just busted. Why am I running forward right now? I should not be running forward on these guys. Oh, I didn't put 1 point into stance. That's why I'm not running forward. Or that's why I am running forward. But even then, like, why am I running forward? Like, just stand still, idiot. Because even in the patch notes, they changed that shit, right? Where was it? Bow and staff attacks now default to a standing stance. Apparently not. Because I still ran forward to this guy that was just standing still way across the screen. So that clearly needs to be looked at. Very, very clearly. But yeah, I definitely need to get some fire damage rings or something, because just the way that this works right now is not great. The only other thing I can try is try setting up like a bow build, but I don't think it's gonna matter what I really do. Just go full powerful shot. We can put this on, I guess. Or instead of that, no. Well, I'm still gonna want this for XP. So we can do this. Then we can just put on like this for XP, I guess. Don't really need anything else. And then for armor, we're gonna have to set up the militia commander stuff. This is just gonna be better than 21. I can make a, what is that? It's 22. And then another 22, so I can make a 23 helmet. Make a 23 helmet. I just don't think any of this shit's gonna work. It's not gonna do any damage. The good news is they reduce the cost of upgrading armor, so that's fantastic. Okay, so that's enough. There's my 23. What does this do? 17,367.8 or 0.5 bow damage and stamina percent, which is what we use. That's good. Now for chest piece, we can go to 21. This is attack speed, so I guess that's okay. Upgrade this. Rarity. 14,000 bow damage. Okay. And then the pants. We can do 21 or 22. If the game would stop lagging. If the game would stop lagging. Oh, whoops. I did that. Pants are 50,672 with run speed. Okay. Then let me put all that on. 420% to shooting. We're definitely going to be leveling up shooting. Wonder if I have any like high shooting amulets. I probably do. Maybe. That's an old one. That's an old one right there. It's prayer, herbalism, hunting. That's my old mining. Prayer, wizardry, herbalism. Wizardry doesn't work. No, 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 no. Double close combat. Interesting. More close combat. A little bit of shooting. I want like 600 or more, I think, for it to be effective. It's 200 defense. That's nothing. That's really old. That's a bunch of bow damage. Too old. Bow damage. Spear doesn't do anything. Gorgors doesn't do anything. Bows aren't considered a two-handed weapon. Unfortunately. I want to say I had an amulet somewhere that had like double or triple bow damage or some shit. I don't remember. 520, but wizardry doesn't do anything, so I don't want to use that. Herbal. No. Close combat and prayer. No. Double fairy power. Oh boy. Shooting and flat stamina. Gotta have something higher than that. 2,000 bow damage. It's magic. Me. Close combat and prayer again. I guess I don't have any like good shooting amulets, unfortunately. I guess I'll just stick with what we got. Alright, that's fine. We gotta leave and reset. Try this again. I'm guessing this is gonna work. but we'll try it. See what happens. That's the main difference between bow and everything else is stuff. Okay, one there. We're not gonna go hunting because, well, yeah, we still have red moon, so we can go hunting. Alright, we need to erosion first few zones, some XP. I froze him, wow. So one marks, budget split. This to 6 again. Everything else here. What's my damage look like? Ka-dick, ka-dick. Not very high. Not very good. Go back, try to get some herbs. I fully understand. Yeah, I'm just never gonna be able to do no damage. Like I don't know how to progress at this point. Like I legitimately would just have to buy a shit ton of rings and completely redo my rings and just go like all of a certain type of damage. Whether it's fire, whether it's two-handed for the staff. But just with the setup that I have right now, like I don't do any damage with. Actually, no, I have an amulet, something that's like mining and shooting, I think. It's not that one. What's this one? doesn't really matter what I put the points into. Oh man, I made it up to 6 tick. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now. Like, I cannot do this area. Like, supposedly, I was told at one point if you go back to the menu, it gets rid of the possessed or some shit. Let's see if that actually works. Yep, that apparently works. But that doesn't solve the problem. But yeah, like, I would basically just have to completely redo all my rings and go like a particular damage. Go shooting, stamina, or fire and mana or something, like, I don't know. But as I am right now, it doesn't matter what I do, I cannot do the amount of damage required. Unless I'm able to use my actual build, but not allowed to do that here. So, it is what it is. But honestly, the only thing you really get for progressing at this point in the game is just rarity upgrades on gear once you clear like 4 or 5 islands. However long it is. So like, me being stuck here isn't really that big of a deal. It just is what it is. If they would ever introduce higher feuds and then have them like start at Silver Reef and then they unlock higher ones as you're able to clear them, and then you get higher gear and higher rings from those, and I'd be able to actually like make better stuff. But seeing as how the last like 2 or 3 patches they haven't actually introduced any new content, it's all just been like very minor changes and bugs. Like, I don't know, like I've read there's a bunch of people getting to like Island 100 and I just don't understand how they do it. Like, I guess they just have like a full set of like fire damage rings or some shit, and I just don't have that. Or I'm doing something incredibly wrong, which wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it just, it is what it is. That's just where I'm at right now. So we're just gonna go back to grinding minerals, since that's all I can do right now, unfortunately. Since I can no longer get a Mercury amount that is good, since they broke that. And yeah, this is just where we're at. Alright. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for now. Actually, this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to, which I guess is okay. But I showed off the majority of the stuff from the patch and everything that's broken for me right now. And all the modifiers and whatever else, so. Apparently we were standing right there, but that's just because we had all the buddies tanking. And yeah, so hopefully they fix the Mercury thing soon, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to make any progress at all. And there'd be really no point in playing the game anymore, if that's the case. Because the only thing I can really do right now is just buy a rich chest and try to find some sort of rings to make a different build work. Or anything, or I guess if anybody actually watches this on the YubTubs, leave me a comment and tell me what I'm doing wrong besides everything. If there's something I'm missing for the fire build with the staff, or if I'm just dumb. I'm pretty sure it's just my rings though, because like I don't have any fire damage. I only got 1543, and the amount of fire damage that I get from the armor just isn't enough. But that's just how it be right now. Anyway, that is gonna be it. I am hungry. I'm gonna go eat, and then potentially play some more Resident Evil and try to finish that. Even though this took up a lot more time than I thought it was going to. But anyway, that's it. Goodbye.